Hey, y'all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. You are a real deal. How are you all today, real deal? I am coming in here with some breaking news. But before I get started, go ahead on and do what you're supposed to do. Carlee. Everybody remember Carlee, right? Carlee, 26, was found guilty by a Hoover municipal judge on Wednesday of faking her own abduction. The ruling came after Russell pleaded not guilty to charges of false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting an incident. Despite her plea, municipal judge Brad Bishop found her guilty based on the recommendation of state prosecutors. Bishop recommended 1 year in jail and $17,874 in restitution. He also recommended two fines of $831 each. Russell, holding her hands behind her back, fidgeted nervously as she entered her plea at about 2:14 p.m. In the municipal court, there is no jury trial. The Constitution allows anyone who faces jail time to have their case heard and decided by a jury of their peers. Oh. So, in other words, her peers was the jury. So they came up with this, okay? Russell, represented by attorney Emery Anthony and Richard Jaffe, is appealing to the circuit court. Anthony said following Wednesday hearing, they are appealing the verdict because state prosecutors want Russell to serve jail time. There's no need of having a trial here, knowing their position, Anthony said. We have stipulated and appealed the case, and it would start anew in the Bessemer Circuit Court. Anthony said Russell's legal team completely disagreed with jail time for a Class A misdemeanor, especially when it's Russell's first offense. If you can find where someone who put in jail for that, bring the file to me and I'll look at it, he said. Generally, they not in jail. Restitution, we don't disagree with that. But to lock her up and put her in jail, we disagree, he said. Russell was clearly nervous in court on Wednesday as she stood before the judge. Nervous is anyone that goes before a judge, Anthony said. I think she understands what has happened. She has apologized. I don't want her to have to break down, he said. So we handle her with kid gloves and making sure her mental state is just fine. Anthony said, asked why she did it. Anthony said that's something that will eventually come to light. We're dealing with issues with Carlee, and we want the best for Carlee, Anthony said. We realized a mistake was made, but we don't want to just pile on right now. The lawyer said he believes the amount of restitution sounds fair, given the resources expended during the search. Anthony said he doesn't know if more charges will be filed, but said the defense was invited by the Attorney General office to speak before a grand jury. They declined. Asked where she was doing the 49 hours. And 49 hours that she was missing. Anthony said, I think you'll have to ask the AG office. The AG office, I don't think it's being compassionate, he said. They know the young lady was not off on a whim. They knew the young lady was not off with some young man. So they know that. Russell seemingly vanished Thursday, July the 13th, after calling 911 and a family member to report seeing a child about 3 or 4 years old, only wearing a diaper, walking alone on I-459. The family member reported hearing a scream and then only in interstate noise through the open cell phone line. Russell disappeared sparked a message search and widespread concern. 2 days later, Russell showed up alone at her parents' Hoover home. She was taken to UAB hospital for evaluation. While at AB hospital, Russell told Hoover police she escaped the clutches of a man and a woman who abducted her. Authorities determined Russell left her job at a Woodhouse day spa, from which she has seen been fired. After taking a roll of toilet paper and a small amount of cash, she ordered food from Tusky at the Colonnade. Carlee then traveled to Target on US 280, where she bought some granola bars, cheeses, and drink. She remained in the parking lot there until 9:21 p.m., then drove to I-49. Russell called 911 at 9:34 p.m. Then she called her brother's girlfriend, and about 9:36 p.m. went missing. No one else ever reported seeing a doctor there. Russell traveled approximately 600 yards while on the phone with 911. Police found Russell's wig, cell phone, and purse near her vehicle. Her Apple Watch was in her purse. The food from Tusky was in her car. Items from Target, as well as the item taken from the spa, were not at the scene. In her interview after her return, the only interview she had given to police, Russell told officers she was abducted. She told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. When she got out the car vehicle, she checked on the child, and a man came out of the trees. Desert previously said. That man then picked her up and she screamed. He then made her go over a fence. He then forced her into a car. The next thing she remembers is being in a trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told the detective she could hear a baby crying, he said. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and put into a car, Durden said. She said they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact with her. She stated that the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by a female, according to Durden. She stated the woman also played with her hair, but she could not remember anything else. She was put back in a vehicle that she claimed she was able to escape from while it was West Hoover area. She told detectives that She ran through lots of woods until she came near the resident, the chief said. The detective noticed that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she complained of her head hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. The detective also noticed that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Police announced the charge against her 2 weeks after the staged disappearance, when Russell admitted was fabricated in a statement released through her lawyer. As we all know, actions have consequences, and that's why we are here today. Thursday, it said, when announcing the charges, her decision that night created panic and alarm for citizens of our city. He said, and even across the nation as concerned, proved that kidnappers was on the loose until a small child at bay. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly, not only to bring Carlee home to her family, but locate a kidnapper that we now know never exists. Thursday said many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we now know was never in any danger. So right now, they still want to know whether Carlee at 49 hours and she haven't told them. They still want to know. They asked where she was during the 49 hours when she was missing. And they still playing games, y'all. Anthony said, I think you have to ask the AG office. Why they can't ask him? That's the attorney. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. I just wanted to bring that news in there to you all before I go to work. Love y'all. I'm out.